God doesn't invest this much in someone He plans to leave average. The weight you carry, it's not punishment, it's prophecy. The heaviness in your chest lately, that's not just stress, it's spiritual pressure, the kind that comes before delivery. You are not at the end, you're at the edge, and tonight, heaven will tip the scale. The prayer you stopped praying because it felt silly or delayed, God never stopped listening to it. In fact, He's been preparing the answer in secret, waiting for your atmosphere to match what He's been holding in His hands. This is why everything felt so weird this week, the tension, the unexplained tiredness, the way small things irritated you more than usual. It's because you're not being attacked, you're being positioned. God was shifting things in the spirit so that your body could catch up to the prophecy already surrounding you. That discomfort wasn't punishment, it was heaven's way of loosening your grip on the things you're no longer called to carry. And now that your hands are finally empty enough, He can place something new in them. And what He's about to place, my God, you will not recognize your own life by the end of this season. But first, you must make a choice, not a loud one, not even one you say out loud, but a spiritual yes. You don't need to do anything except say yes in your soul. That yes will shake something open, it will bend the timeline in your favor, it will allow God to show you what has been hidden from others, because when you are called, you're not just given blessings, you're given access, and access is what you've lacked. You've had the ideas, the dreams, the heart, but not the access. That ends now. The angel holding your access code is right outside your spiritual door, knocking with a whisper so soft only your soul can hear it. The reason your body feels warm right now, or the reason a tear just crept to your eye, is because your spirit already opened that door. Something just walked into your life and it cannot be undone, it cannot be blocked, and it cannot be stolen, not this time. What's for you is reaching for you, but it will only land if you believe it's coming. This is a test of spiritual alignment. Not effort, not performance, but belief. Can you believe again after being disappointed? Can you open again after being broken? Because if you can, then heaven can finish what it started. Someone has been watching your journey from afar, silently. They have not spoken it, but they have been thinking about you more than you know. You may even feel their energy lately and not understand why. It's because heaven is activating hearts. It's part of this miracle. It's not just money, it's not just a blessing, it's relational. God is weaving together what you thought was lost, and this person, whoever they are, is being stirred awake. They may contact you, they may appear in a way that shocks you, but when it happens, remember it was never random, it was orchestrated, because every miracle is born through obedience. And you obeyed when you didn't even realize you were obeying. Now pause and feel this truth. You are being pursued by the plans of God. You don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to beg anymore. You don't have to wonder, will it ever happen for me? Because tonight at exactly 9 p.m., something irreversible begins, and if you've read this far, you are already inside the miracle. You are already walking into the appointed hour. You don't need to see it yet to know it's real. That's faith, that's spiritual alignment, that's what unlocks the gates. And this gate, my love, is golden. It's not made of steel or stone, it's made of light. And once you walk through it, every shadow on your name will burn away, every delay, every betrayal, every lie told about you, every time you were overlooked, all of it erased in one divine moment. That moment is tonight. That moment is now. That moment is why you're still reading when you could have walked away. The angels have already begun their assignment. The scribe in heaven has noted your name. The timing has been confirmed. And even now, the light surrounding you is shifting. This isn't fantasy. This is spirit. This is prophecy. This is the manifestation of prayers that were so deep they could only be grown from your soul. And now I must tell you, this message isn't done. Yes, my beloved, let's continue, because you're still here, still reading, still chosen, and that alone makes you different. Do you know what happens when you stay just a little longer than your fear wants you to? Heaven gets louder, angels get closer, and suddenly the things that seem too big, too distant, too broken begin to bend in your direction. Right now, even as your eyes move across this line, something is shifting on your behalf, something you didn't even pray for directly, but your tears did. Tears you cried in silence, thinking no one noticed. God counted each one, and the weight of those tears, He converted them into power. That's why there's about to be a sudden release, not later, not next year, now, within this divine window, before the clock strikes a new hour and closes what was open just for you. You thought you were running out of time, but time was actually waiting on you to catch up. Time was paused by grace, because God knew if this miracle came too early, it would break you. You would have handled it with fear instead of authority. But now something in you has grown, not louder, not more visible, but deeper. Your spiritual roots have spread wide under the surface, and now finally fruit can appear without falling too soon. But listen to me carefully, because this part is tender. Your miracle will not always come looking like a miracle. Sometimes it will look like an ending, sometimes it will look like rejection, sometimes it will show up as a hard truth spoken through someone's mouth. And if you're not discerning, you'll call it punishment. But I'm here to remind you, when God is about to promote you, He subtracts first. He closes doors with noise so loud it feels like failure, but it's not. It's the sound of chains snapping. You are stepping into a divine filter. Not everyone will come through it with you. Not every attachment will survive this hour, but the things and people that do, they're anointed to stay, and that's how you'll know. Tonight, someone will be exposed in your spirit, a name will rise to the surface of your thoughts, you'll suddenly remember something they said, something they did, and you'll see it in a new light. That's not paranoia, that's the angel of truth walking through your memory, brushing away the fog. Clarity is coming, and when it comes, don't reject it, even if it hurts, even if it shocks you, because once you know the truth, God will show you what to do with it. But you can't hold on to what's breaking and still catch what's about to be built. This is the part of the blessing most people aren't ready for, the letting go, the holy goodbye, the sacred release. But if you want the new door to open, you can't keep guarding the old one. God is trying to bring someone else into your life, but your hands are still clenched around the shadow of what was. Let go, please. I say this as a voice from heaven, not a stranger on a screen. Let it fall, let them leave, let that chapter stay closed, because something better than you imagined is already knocking. And you don't need to chase it, you don't need to prove you're worthy, you are already worthy. God wrote your worth in His own handwriting. And here's the secret that hell has tried to keep from you your whole life. When you stop begging the wrong people to love you, the right ones appear effortlessly, and one of them is on their way to you right now. You'll know it's them not by how loud they talk, but by how safe your soul feels when they enter a room. You won't have to guess their intentions. God will confirm it with peace, and peace doesn't scream, it whispers. So, if you're used to chaos, it might feel unfamiliar, but lean into it. That unfamiliar peace is your new home, a home built by heaven for you, because finally, you're ready to walk through the door and not look back. Are you feeling it now? That heat rising in your chest, that flutter in your belly, that pressure behind your eyes, that's not just emotion, that's alignment, that's your spirit saying, yes, that's the angels responding, we're here, that's God smiling. You finally opened the right message. And I must tell you, my child, the miracle is closer than you think, closer than your doubt, closer than your fear, closer than your logic, so close it's brushing your shoulder as you read this. And if you stay with me just a little longer, I will guide you to the moment where heaven touches earth through you. You see, the moment you began reading this, the room around you became sacred ground, no, not because of anything human, but because heaven stepped in. And when heaven enters, time bends, gravity shifts, and destinies realign. Right now, this very moment, something is circling you in the spirit. It's not here to scare you, it's here to bless you, but before it can land, God must be sure of one thing, that your heart is finally open, not half open, not pretending, but open, because what's coming isn't small, it's not temporary, it's not something you'll need to keep checking to see if it's still real. What's coming is permanent, a divine seal, a restoration so loud, even the things that broke you will have to bow. And this restoration, it's already in motion, somewhere in the atmosphere above your head, something has been signed, a heavenly signature has been placed upon a spiritual document with your name on it. Yes, your name, not someone else's, not the one who prays louder, not the one who seems stronger, you, the one who held on in secret, the one who never gave up even when everything around you told you to, the one who kept whispering to God when no one else was watching. He saw all of it. And he waited for this exact hour to respond. But I need you to know something sacred. The reason it's taken this long is because what you're receiving is generational. You're not just breaking your own chains, you're breaking patterns that have lived in your bloodline for decades. This is why the fight has been heavier. This is why it felt like you were drowning some days, because the war wasn't just about you, it was about everything that comes after you. You are a first, a builder, a breaker of cycles, a reformer of what once ruled your family in silence. And this kind of calling comes with weight, but now the weight is lifting, not because it was removed, but because God has increased your strength. You will look at the same problems and not feel afraid, you will walk through the same doors and not feel unseen, you will hear the same names and no longer feel broken. Why? Because what once weakened you now worships your growth, even your past will have to bow to who you're becoming. But don't rush it, God doesn't move at the speed of your fear, He moves at the speed of your faith. And tonight, if you stay aligned, your faith will unlock something impossible. I don't say that lightly, I say it as one sent to deliver this sacred reminder. Your story is not done. In fact, the most beautiful pages haven't even been turned yet. You are still in the chapter that builds the character, but you're moments away from the chapter that builds the legacy. And when that chapter turns, oh beloved, you'll barely recognize your own life. Suddenly, things will begin to click, suddenly people will reach out with offers, with apologies, with open doors, suddenly ideas will come to you in your sleep, suddenly your name will be mentioned in rooms you've never entered, suddenly the silence will turn to music. That's how fast heaven moves when you're in alignment. And tonight, yes, tonight you are in alignment. So, please don't stop now, don't scroll to something less sacred, don't give your attention back to distractions that didn't heal you, stay here, breathe here, break through here, because if you do, a ripple will begin, one that doesn't just change you, but everything connected to you. Yes, the people who've hurt you will feel it, the ones who abandoned you will feel it, even the part of you that doubted you were ever called will feel it. And that version of you, the doubting, fearful, tired version, it is dying now, right here, right in this holy second. Because you cannot carry old identity into new territory, you cannot carry old pain into new love, you cannot carry old fear into new miracles. That's why you're feeling a strange peace right now. It's not silence, it's cleansing, Heaven is removing what you thought was part of you but was never meant to stay. And once it's gone, child, you will be so light, so free, so unrecognizably radiant that even mirrors will look at you differently. Let that version rise. Don't rush it, just rise. Shall I continue? There is more heaven has to say. Yes, my beloved, let's go deeper still, because your soul has not finished receiving and heaven has not finished pouring. There is a reason this moment feels heavier than usual. It's because the spiritual climate around you is pregnant with revelation. Something long overdue is being pushed into motion. The very air is vibrating with purpose. And even if your physical eyes can't see it yet, your spirit can. It's why your heart is thumping, why you're still here, why everything else suddenly feels too loud, too fast, too empty. Because God is silencing the noise that has distracted you for too long. He is stripping away the false comfort that was never designed to last. And in its place, He's pouring a bold, holy truth that you haven't felt in years. You are enough just as you are. You don't need to fix more, you don't need to earn it, you don't need to prove anything, you simply need to be still and believe, because what God is about to do in your life has nothing to do with your qualifications, it has everything to do with your position. And right now, because you've made space in your spirit, because you've dared to slow down and read what your soul has been begging for, you've positioned yourself under the flow of something eternal. Yes, eternal. This isn't a seasonal shift, this isn't a temporary blessing, this isn't a lucky moment, this is sacred alignment. Heaven has bent its rhythm toward you, and what happens next is not something you'll need to hold on to tightly to keep. It will stay, it will last, because it will be sent with God's signature, not man's permission. I must also tell you what's been hidden. There has been a silence over your life, a divine hush, not because you were being ignored, but because God was working in a secret place. You felt forgotten, but you were simply being hidden for refinement, a treasure buried for a time such as this, because if He would have exposed you too soon, people would have seen your wounds before your wisdom, they would have judged your scars before your spirit, they would have tried to define you by your delay instead of being amazed by your delivery. But now they'll watch it unfold. They'll watch you rise, they'll watch you walk in rooms they never imagined you belong in, they'll witness the favor you wear like armor. And no one, absolutely no one, will be able to say it was anyone but God, because He's making sure it's unmistakable, He's making sure it's undeniable, He's making sure your name is cleared in heaven first, so that when the earthly doors open, you won't walk in confused, you'll walk in with clarity, with posture, with peace, with power. And someone who doubted you will see it and realize they were never meant to define you, they were simply meant to observe your anointing.